Hello. So here's what we're going to do first. Way back when I started this project, I was like, hey, first I sneezed, and then I was like, hey, when we send out builds to people, we should be able to know what they're playing, and they should be able to know what they're playing by putting a version number in the corner. And so I put that in the menu, and then I literally never update it manually. Like, well, one time in the entire history of the project. So instead, we can just put what date it was compiled on. And then that'll just happen every time we compile, right? Easy. Easy. We could do the build number. The thing that worries me about that, I mean, maybe it's not that slow to do, I guess. Maybe we only do it. I mean, like, you have to just, like, run this command and capture all this output. It's super ugly, right? I don't want to do that right now. I'm just going to put the build date for now. I mean, maybe it's not super ugly because our APIs are good enough that we could just say, run the command. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just be serious about this and just frickin' do this, right? We could even just spin up a thread to do it in the meta program so that we don't wait on it. The only problem is that doesn't matter that much. All right. All right, let's just, let's do the easy part. Version, major version, minor version, baby version. Okay, none of that is it. It's going to be text is tprint, version whatever, version string. Okay. Okay, and then where are these defined? Okay, so we might bring that back later if we ever want to actually maintain that, but like, ugh, right? So here we'll go version string. All right. So what is version string? Oh, wait, we have a build revision already. What? We're already doing this. We're like not even, all right. And it looks like we already have the date. Build time. Hey. Look. It's like we program here. Although why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Really? All right. So So ISO string kind of sucks, so maybe we don't want to use that. Calendar to string. Let's just try that. So build time is going to be time. S is calendar to string. And we're using tprint. So yeah. Calendar to string. Calendar, and then I mean, when we return a string, it'll copy it. If we're cross-compiling. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. Okay. I mean, but this... I think this is fine. The only... so build time used to return an Apollo time, but I think we're okay here. Let's say build time string. To calendar to string. Wait. Yeah. Okay, I see what's happening. All right, you know what? Let's just do it that way. I was smart at one point. I was smart. All right. It's just confusing because the cross-compiling made it more complicated. At one point, we want to be able to cross-compile more easily without doing as much of this stuff. Okay. This is not returning a string. I was being silly because I was like, oh, it's a string, but it's not a string. We're inserting the string, right? And the reason we're inserting the string is because we don't have super good ability to return data types between workspaces for different operating systems. Which is what happens when you cross-compile. But we will address that at least for common types at some point, or for duck typing or something like that. At which point this will just work, hopefully. Okay. So that's actually returning an Apollo time. Okay, that's fine. So then build, we already reverted Williams, by the way. Okay, so we did this, we did this. I mean, we have the revision and the time, so I can just do this, right? So here, we can just tprint every frame. We're going to go calendar string, and then it was build revision. All right. Tprint built whatever from revision whatever. Calendar Caldenar, that's like a fantasy name from a novel. Calendar string build revision. All right. So text. Oh, yes. Yes. Should have just vibe coded it. Okay, there's a new line in it, and maybe we don't need the period. But, you know, that's pretty good. It's GMT time. which might be best anyway, but the build revision is 0. Okay, that's very sad. That isn't working. And nobody frickin' noticed, right? Maybe because if we're not on the server, that's commented out or something. Let's see. Build revision. Get SVN revision. If display SVN revision. If not on the build machine, don't waste time. I wrote that comment. I can tell. All right. What? Why do people add new variables that do the same thing? And why is this not a placeholder? It's like whoever did this didn't know the programming language. Like, holy fuck. All right. So is that what it's called? Support, no, SVN revision enabled. Okay. Placeholder force crash emails was never filled. That's, oh, it's in file scope. Number one error. Number one error. Number one error. Okay, so now why? Maybe this is why somebody didn't do this, is they ran into a problem and they were like, oh, I don't understand. All right, so it is blocked by an inserter. This is weird because supposedly we added this. I mean, that was last build, but you know. So why do we think this isn't working? Because iProf shouldn't be waiting on any of these. That's the thing. Undeclared identifier iProf. There is a file scope. Oh, wait, what? Okay, hold on. This is definitely... Okay, what's going on? I just put a scope file there because I was like, hey, scope file. All right. Force crash emails was never filled. This placeholder is in file scope. No, it's not. Why is it telling me placeholder. This has nothing to do with what we're trying to program, by the way. I'm just trying to like clean some stuff up that's unrelated and fix it. So we're adding this, but it's not hitting the placeholder because it's claiming the placeholders in file scope. But it isn't. And it never was. There's supposed to be a semicolon. I mean, there wasn't originally, and you still don't have to put it, but the problem is if we start to add arguments to this and stuff, then if there's no semicolon, it may introduce parsing ambiguity at some point. So it's probably good practice to put it, even though you don't currently have to. But of course, I haven't told anyone that. All right, so this is a weird one. So it's complaining about all of these. Force crash emails was never filled. Revision enabled was never filled. Oh, wait, what was the third one? You don't need to put, like, yeah. All right, so maybe this error message is just wrong for some reason. No, because maybe placeholders. I'm just going to try something. Maybe this is just a weird placeholder bug that I haven't seen. There is some complexity about file scope versus export scopes, but like it's literally saying it's in file scope every time. I'm looking for other placeholders. Oh, generated entity data. I moved it. Yeah, so here we do the same stuff, and we're really not doing anything special. And it all goes. Let's take a look if we do. Okay, wait. This thing. Oh, wait. We add this. We have this insertion string. Okay, so that we generate this locally. we actually have a hook that says run this. So we actually run this from inside the same place, which might matter. Here we're probably doing add build string. Yes. Now there's a way to add a scope to this. Let me see. I haven't used it in a while. Add build string, code loc. All right. So this third argument that's a code, all right. Let's try this and see if it helps with the problem. Because we really don't want to not be using placeholders for this. We may remove the ability to not use placeholders for this soon. So like all of these, ugh, why don't these work? Okay, I probably wrote that a long time ago and didn't want to deal with it. So now we're dealing with it. All right, it's fine. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're gonna I actually wonder if we get messages for these placeholders. We may not. Or we may. Does anyone know? Because if we get top level messages for these placeholders, we just look for this one and we just use that as the scope, right? Otherwise, I can hard code a check for like if it's main. I mean, we could look for the function main and use that scope. Here, I think what's happening is the following, right? There's a thing with placeholder. Well, there's a thing with everything. When you say that something's at export scope, I think we actually add it at file scope and then export a link. And there's reasons for that, which may or may not still be very important. So like what I feel like is happening is when we do the placeholder and we say it's scope export, we're making a placeholder at file scope and then doing a link. And maybe the link is just another placeholder. I don't know. But like it used to be that if you inserted the placeholder at export scope, it would follow the link back and fill in the file scope one. And maybe that doesn't happen anymore. And maybe there's a good reason for that and maybe there isn't. And I'm not sure because I never forced myself to fix this problem. So, yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look for the procedure main. And we're going to add this to scope main. Scope main. Oh, wait. Wait, we're adding these in the beginning. Oh. That might be why the placeholder doesn't work, actually. Like if it's supposed to work if you do this. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's what doesn't work. Like if you add a placeholder and there's already a definition that exists, the placeholder is supposed to use that definition. But mayhap that is not the thing. So we could repro that. Right, so because we're adding this so early, we can't do the thing that I said about scope main. Uh-oh, is Sir Elfman a Rust enjoyer? Something tells me Sir Elfman is a Rust enjoyer. What's wrong with Rust? Everybody who uses Rust has crabs. That's what's wrong with Rust. You're a how do strings work enjoyer. You're a how do strings work enjoyer who has never used most programming languages. And you have an attitude about it. You have an attitude about the answer that is the answer in almost every programming language ever made by human beings. But you don't know that because you only know like a couple of recent programming languages. The fucking attitude. All right. I got to ease into it. Yeah. I just had a really good meditation for like, I don't know, maybe it was an hour, maybe it was 90 minutes. And so I'm in a good mood. So I'm baby raging in a good mood as opposed to straight up baby raging. Like it's kind of fun to baby rage, you know? All right. Anyway. This could well be the bug. If this is the bug, see, here's the thing. How much do I want a rat hole to get this done? And the answer is I don't actually want a rat hole yet. Okay? So here's the thing. We're going to raise the priority of this, but we're going to make it a different thing. First, we complete the mission. The mission is to work on the game and do some good stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it at the top of the to-do list. But you got to complete the mission. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. So we take this out right now because we want this to actually work. I was going to consider working around this or whatever, but I feel like these are being added to the right scope. You know what actually might be happening is the placeholder is detecting it, but it's not actually propagating it back to the files. Yeah, that's probably what it is. All right. Anyway, though, we're just not going to do the placeholders right now. Why? Because we're completing the mission. You're looking up rat hole in Urban Dictionary and cannot find what you mean. That's because it's not slang, it's regular English. Okay. We're still getting revision 0. Yeah. Why was that? We'll take out the new line. So build revision. Oh, this was one of the... Wait, main. It's in main. What? Why do I have so many mains? Kill it. All right. Build revision. All right. So SVN revision enabled. Oh, I guess, right. Okay. So SVN revision is the variable. Okay. So if we do release of any kind, a release build of any kind, all right. And for now, we'll just set this to true because we're testing. But for debug builds, we don't need to know normally. Okay, hey. We don't really need the time, honestly. We'll leave it for now. Well. How does split from left work? Found left, right. Okay. What happens if there's no... False S, nothing, yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Not false is pure cinema. Dude, that's how we do things downtown. There we go. See how good that was? Now people will know what is the build. Now people will know what is the build. All right, so now we go back here. We take this out. And okay. So that's great. Draw the build date and revision number on the menu screen, which is much better than my fake thing that I've been putting. Okay, we got to fix this. This is bad. Ah, there's a no check-in. Oh, yeah. Oops. That's, see, I kind of hand edit this right now. When we send out a final build to people, this is supposed to be defined, but we haven't tested the code a ton with that. So I turn that off when we make builds. Why is this taking... Oh, man. My SSD is dying, probably. Because we hammer on it so hard, dude. It's just sitting here. All right, thank you. Thank you. Emacs doesn't crash for you on Windows. Why would Emacs crash for me on Windows, is my question. Emacs has literally never crashed for me on Windows. Well, I don't know about never, but once or twice in all the time I've been using it. You can't type in it on your machine. Well, I don't know. Nothing destroys hard drives like version control. I mean, our game has like 700,000 files or something like that. So we're really doing stuff to it. I might have to, like, I want to focus on finishing the frickin' game, but I might have to do some stuff to reduce the number of files. Which I don't want to do. Small, not so good games with less assets. Well, that is one strategy that you can employ. Okay. So, this one could be easy. If we go here, and I put an exit, and I run real fast. Let's get this. So if I run real fast, I'll stop on the exit, but then I'll go off it again. Watch this. Wait, he didn't do it. Why didn't he do it? Does it only... Okay, no. I don't know why that's happening. Maybe it's only release build? That would be weird. It's probably just the presence of certain kind of entities on the level. Like, see that? She did it there. And then if I cheat this guy, and I just hammer on the south. Yeah. Okay, it probably is. All right, so let's go look in. I don't want to explain to people exactly what's happening there because it's a little bit of a spoiler, but so here we do this, right? And I think we just added some other states. Yeah, so I think we just need this. I think it's an easy clap. I mean, we might as well include this one. Okay, I couldn't run past it last time. Couldn't run past it that time. It's fixed. Bro, why? I just want an easier way to switch between files with the same name. Like, why is that so bad in Emacs? Ooh, only work on one project, bro. Okay. Okay, this falling flag situation, there's an unknown number of levels that are broken due to this. I don't know what happened, but at some point in the past, we had some code enabled that would cause things to start falling. Oh my God, look how slow this is, dude. This is going to take forever. But see, and these are kind of recent levels, so I'm worried that like, what is the history of this? Dude, my SSD got so much slower. So, well, this is from, we can look at that one file, 731194. It was modified in September. It's probably when. September 2023. No, August. The question is this still happening? I mean, I can just make a batch command to fix this, and then we see if it ever happens again, but I just want to know. All right, so here is a, whoops, not deflator. This is from I don't know why this is taking so long. Welcome to computers. So I guess September 2024 is when I pulled down this build onto this computer. So that doesn't necessarily tell us that much. All right, what else? So both ways has like, all right, let's try Cyan Bridge v3. $80,183 dot entity text. All right. Okay, that is not good at all. That is not good at all. So there's something we are doing that causes us to make things start falling in the editor. So all right, we can stop this. We can stop that. So that is not the best. It might be that these were just copied from some other level that already had the infection. You know what I'm saying? Like it might have been just a really old bug. Let's just see if there's anyone else. So that's 633. That's the line we got. Yeah, I mean, that's the only one. So we'll see if that ever trips. But I have to write a thing that salvages all the entities. We love this. I hope my salvage code is still good. Fix up all levels. It's my favorite command. Okay, we're gonna run this in debug mode, even though that might be kind of slow. I don't know. All entities. Oh. All right. So you do need to have some entities flagged as falling. I mean, not at the start of the level, unless they're legit falling. What is it? Was it an undirectable river? It shouldn't be an undirectable river. We'll go look at that. But like I said in the email, I think you were just dropping things at the intersection. That was all that I saw, but maybe not. So we have a lot of loading level. All right. Did we, in fact, fix anything? Hyper jump. It's all on inanimates, which actually probably wouldn't cause a problem. But the reason I noticed this is because it was set on some gameplay entities and it was causing bugs. So like, yeah, that could just be that somehow a long time ago this got set. All right. This is a recent level. All right, well, it works. Okay, let's check that in. Okay, so now we have to figure out what was the river redirection level. It was a druid. It was in the druid area. It was in the Heroes in Water druid area. Look at all those entities, dude. $3,000 of them. All right. Okay, so might have been this one. I mean, there's only 3 here. Wasn't that one. I don't think this is a good final level for this area, as noted. Wasn't that one. Wasn't that one. Was it? It was one of the South Druids, huh? Okay, I've gone way too far. Here we go. It's one of these. No. Yeah. All right. So. Right. So. I mean, we need to put this. I mean, how do we even redirect the river here? I don't remember how you were doing it. I mean, I could put this here, right? Ah! Why is it not redirecting? What the hell is going on? I bet there's something terrible like there's more than one ocean entity. I don't know. It's not. No, it's not scaled weird. It does go way too far south than we need. No, this absolutely should redirect. So, like, I honestly don't understand what is happening right now. Dude, that's so weird. There's a turbulence. There's a flow updater. It's diverting right. It's recovering from... Yeah, I don't know, dude. This is really weird. This really should not be happening. How are you actually sinking a stone in the water here? Oh, I guess you just push... No? How were you sinking a stone in the water? I saw you sink one there, but I don't remember how that was even possible. Oh, while it was skipping. I see. Yeah, well, clearly that's not necessary to repro the bug. All right. Let's just run into debugger. We'll make sure we're totally up to date. Let's close this. Open this. Okay. So move flow updaters. We'll just see what happens. Maybe there's a really weirdly set global variable. What was it called? Druid Stone 2v3. Okay. No, this is the wrong one. Druidstone 0v2. No. Druidstone alt. Yes. Okay, so here we go. We just push that in. And yeah. So do we get here at all right now? No. We just never get to move flow updaters. Okay, why? Why is that? Do non-lily stuff. Okay, that's suspicious. That's got to be false, right? Why is that false? Move lilies. Do non-lily stuff. I don't do lily stuff. Oh God, they're in a movement group. Okay. We have this hack called Lily Movement Groups that is for responsiveness in large levels. I don't want to explain it right now unless someone's really actually genuinely super curious. And you're always supposed to have things that are in movement group with an empty name, because that's what drives river flow and stuff. If you don't have that, it'll never happen because it'll never get triggered. And in theory, that should generate an error. And maybe it does, and I just wasn't looking for it. But hey, look. I ignore the gimpy graphics. They'll get fixed someday. That's a little bit of a weird race condition there, but okay. Separate thing to think about. Okay, so let's movement group. Init lily movement groups. Okay. Otherwise, flow updaters will not fire. Found empty name is false for manager Lily movement groups if group that group name is equal to none. Found empty name equals true. If we didn't do that, log error. We could just add one. And yeah, that'll take care of that. So even if there are 0 groups, this will happen, right? Because this starts as false, so that's fine. And actually, there's always going to be at least one. Now, when we get here. Okay. Easy clap. Yeah, I learned early on, like, let's just test. Let's test this. I don't know. We're testing a random level. Spoilers. You learn a lot of things, right? But one thing I learned is, like, it's very useful when you're programming if you feel like you're being very productive, right? Because it adds to your energy. And if you legitimately are being productive, that's the end goal, or one of the end goals, right? So that's all good. When you get this recursive, like 5-level rat holing, you're not being productive. You don't feel productive, and it can just be hard to concentrate because you keep changing what you're thinking about, right? So it can be hard to get momentum because you just keep thinking about different things. And so, yeah, like, hey, that's a bug I wanted to fix, right? And I still want to fix it, but look at all these other things that we fixed. I might still be working on that one thing if I had rat hold on it right now. Whereas, because I reprioritized, I can ship a build to playtesters tonight that will have these fixes in it. And that's a good thing, right? So yeah, prioritization. However, the opposite scenario also does occur sometimes, where, like, things are so broken that if you don't fix the root thing, then you're going to be wasting your time on the leaf things, because you're just like patching over holes in the boat that are going to show up again, right? And so if you end up in that situation, you do want a rat hole, right? So it's complicated. Like, programming is hard. It's a deep discipline, and it takes a long time to get good. And again, what I'm saying here is not even objectively good or bad. It's just it's one small fragment of the personal style that I've developed of how I get things done. And you can, of course, make different choices as long as they work together harmoniously. All right. Let's check this in. Did I leave a no check-in? That might be enough for tonight, honestly. I mean, I want to send out this build, so we could do that. Fix flow updaters. You know what I really should do, actually, before I call this fixed? Because I supposedly did this thing. We should go back to this level. I should set the movement group again. Oh, it's got a crystal on it that I haven't deleted, by the way. So we can't even... We need to... Oh, wait. Yeah, I saved it with the... So we got to get rid of this or the level's broken, right? So let's put the movement group back. Cowabunga. All right. So... There we go. It worked. Okay. We don't actually want them to be a movement group cowabunga, and we don't want this. And we'll verify that the level works. Easy clap. All right, now we'll commit. Chai also helps with productivity. We haven't made chais in a long time because I left my chai at the office, unfortunately. Perhaps you can break even more levels. I almost could guarantee there will be at least a few more broken levels. All right, fix Lily movement group bug that caused flow updaters not to update. But see, that's the thing too. Like, because I know the code, because I wrote all that code, right? But I didn't have to write it just because I'm conversant with it. I knew right away what the problem was upon seeing the code without having to like run the debugger for an hour, right? So you hear all these things. Again, this is important, right? You hear all these people say like, oh, writing code is 90% debugging and stuff. And sometimes it is. A lot of the time it is. But the more time that you spend debugging, the less productive you are, right? It's important to realize that. And so it's important to realize that you want to, over time, decrease the fraction of time that you spend debugging, right? You want to spend your time making new decisions and implementing new things, right? Because there's already a problem. It's already really hard to make something like a game, because even if you're not debugging old stuff, there's like this fractal expansion of all the details that you have to implement. Like, oh, I implemented the basic thing, but it doesn't feel very good, so I need to do this and that, right? And I didn't, oh, wouldn't it be, you know, it would feel better, the game would feel better if we had a certain different sound and animation that plays when the arrangement of objects is just so. And like, you already have that to deal with. This, you know, exponential explosion of things to do in a game. So yeah, you just don't want to be debugging. And I've said this before, but I like to say it, especially because I never thought that was a possibility, really. Like, consciously when I was learning, and I'm glad to find out that it was. Because, dude, I spent so much time debugging when I first got into games. It was nuts. All right, so we're going to go back to here, and I'm going to redo this. And do I do anything else? Oh, you know what? Let's rerun the manifest and all that stuff. Did I do anything that does entity versioning? No. So we can run the old thing. We're just going to run a Benny test. That'll take a little while, just because it's good practice to make sure all the assets are compiled and stuff. So we're just going to let this go. And because our render is getting faster, it's going faster again, but I'm also streaming, so that slows it down. Yeah, code being easy to debug is very important. People they just don't respect how important that is. It is almost the most important thing. I mean, obviously there's other stuff that's very important, like can the code solve the problem or whatever, but there are many ways to solve a problem, and some ways are a lot more debuggable than others, right? I'm going to grab a snack, back in a sec. ate all my chocolate bars. Sad. Casey said Microsoft Windows is steering a plane into a mountain and AI is only increasing the speed of the plane. Yeah, I do not disagree with that at all. Not at all. Do I have a special plan for how I'm going to wrangle this kind of thing over so many levels? What do you mean by this kind of thing? Do you mean that bug that I just fixed? Like you just got to test the game. You know? Like that bug wouldn't even show up in automated testing, right? Because you're not supposed to divert the river in that level. It just so happens that it's unavoidable that you could. But there's no, like, the automated test does not involve doing the thing that was buggy, and so you never would notice that it doesn't work on that one level, right? So you just got to test your program. You said in an interview the other day that you first and foremost write code that's simple to understand and easy to debug, and the guy thought that was wrong. Well, do not get a job there. What did he say was right? You've literally had people tell you they can't use a debugger on modern code bases because it's too hard. Well, I mean, I'm sure if they were better at using debuggers, they would be able to, but I agree that it is much more difficult on code bases like that. Yeah, that's a good point. Debugging can be, well, twice as hard as an arbitrary quantity, but it can be much harder to debug the code than to write the code, yes. And so yeah, if the code was at the maximum limit of your comprehension when you wrote it in the first place, it may be undebuggable, yes. Like within reason. And just divert rivers whenever possible. Yeah, okay. You weren't allowed to use a debugger at Google because of personal data. What? That doesn't make any sense, because if you could view personal data in a debugger, you could output personal data with a log statement. So, like, what's the difference? Make sure log statements didn't have personal data. You were only allowed to use user counters. But like, you just log the user data and don't check in that code, right? Because that's what would be wrong with a debugger, is that you would look at the user data in the debugger, right? And that wouldn't involve checking anything in. So why can't you just, like, output the user data and just never check it in? Like, this just doesn't make any sense to me. What skills do you think a junior developer with zero experience should have? Okay, first of all, if you have zero experience, you're not even a junior developer. Okay, let's get that straight. You're going to do MBA. That's a waste of time. Everybody in America who does software companies thinks MBAs are a waste of time. That would be my career advice, is don't do that. Knowing how to code is a good skill if you want to code. No lie detected. We sure are getting through the levels. Yes, the tests are recorded input. This summer you're releasing your first game. All right, good luck. Sure, go ahead. I've put people in special thanks without asking them, so you can feel free to do that for me. It's just karma. It's just karma. I mean, some of the people I put in special thanks were not alive at the time. And I don't have the skills to ask under those circumstances. May you shameless plug it? Sure. Why not? Hope it's good, though. I think the fail count's a little too high. We might have broke something. We'll see what it ends up at. G is the hardest 2D platformer ever made. Well, I mean, that is a thing that you can do. Yeah, 40 is more fails than I want to see because we were down at 30 something. But that's not enough for me to freak out about it. So I literally just recorded this one. Come on, man. I thought I did. Spoilers. Oops. I like just recorded this one at 5:30. Maybe I didn't check it in. No, but I would have checked it in at the same time as the everything else. All right. Don't watch. Don't watch the level. You're going to get spoiled. I'll tell you when it's okay to watch. Oh, well, if I kill my character, that... Yeah, don't watch if you don't want to get spoiled on the ending. I'm about to solve it. Let's see if that... This level just doesn't record. All right, well, that's another thing to investigate. That'll help us fix something. All right, I'm putting that on the bug list. So that's good. I have another example of another level that also doesn't record correctly. I have no idea what the commonality is. Like, what do these levels possibly have in common? Like, what about, like, this level is just has stuff that a lot of other levels have. I don't see the issue. So you did find the correct ending on second exploration? Okay, good. That is the intended solution. Yeah, this level, I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't record. Maybe we'll do a stream where I debug that, because it would be helpful to video record the steps that I do so I can see exactly where it desyncs. Well, I mean, maybe it desyncs before you think it desyncs, but whatever. All right, so manifest. I just did record the steps. Yes, that is true. Numbers in the level names, no. Character limit, no. It's nothing like that. It's going to be something really dumb. I mean, definitely I died a few times and undid that, but that should be fine. But maybe it isn't for some reason. Maybe it isn't. Did I figure out anything about the random crashes? No, I have not investigated those. I have assumed that they are graphics crashes because that's what they almost always are when they're random like that. So I have forwarded them to our graphics programmer, who should be taking a look, in a couple hours, because he's in European time. So yeah. I'm going to send this out without a fix for that, though. Just because we might as well. Although, there will be some sound effects that are broken now. Maybe I shouldn't push it out. Let me know. So the thing is, there'll be some sound effects that are broken because I changed the names and changed the code and all that, but the sound guy hasn't actually made the effects yet. Therefore, going into an endpoint beam, it's probably silent to do that. All right. Probably don't need to recompile this. We could go fix that while we're building. We got a swap-a-rooney, the Mickey Roonies. All right. Wait. Did I actually... I'm not sure that I actually compiled the new thing. Release, no dash final. Did I do this? I don't remember doing it, and it takes a long time, so we probably didn't do it. It's going to be cool when this game's done. But first, for that to happen, we have to finish compiling. Got to finish compiling. We are compiling. We are compiling. All right, so I have a very clear goal for tomorrow that I'm not going to say what it is because it's a little bit of a spoiler. But I should be able to do that tomorrow. And then we're doing pretty good. I don't know. Are we doing good? It's hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, it hasn't taken long to make the game, guys. It just takes a while to compile. That's all. That's all. You bought an ice cream with honey in it. I mean, is it good honey or is it super cheap industrial honey? Compiler could be a lot faster with optimizing. Has there been time for that work yet? Nope. No, there hasn't. So we still do not have our own optimizer. We do have. There have been a number of steps taken toward the data structures that you would use to optimize inside our own code, but we don't actually do it yet. Okay, let's. So we should be able to run this and then see on the menu. I don't know why we still compile shaders on first startup. That's the thing we gotta fix. Hey, look, built from revision 0. Oh, why does it say revision 0? Bro! All right, we're just gonna put that out saying revision 0, and then we'll fix it separately because I want to go to bed. It at least has the date. That's improved. I don't. So I guess final. Final doesn't say official build. And I don't tend to do official build because that forces emails. So like, all right, we'll just set this in final. What is it? What was the variable called? I forgot. What variable was it that we wanted to set? Build. Enable SVN revision enabled. SVN revision. All right. So next time this will go. We'll put this in all the releases. All right, but we're going to ship this one that says version 0. All right. Compiling results in 4 gigabytes of intermediaries on disk for a terminal app. Why? What is it doing? What is it doing? Uh-oh. Is our internet down? No. All right, well, I should have warned you guys before pushing the button, but I did not do that. Yeah, we should be back. And that is probably my night. It is bedtime soon. But what I thought Zig was supposed to be trying to be very close to C, so why would it make 4 gigabytes of object files? Like, where do they come from? All right. Thanks, everybody. Hope you had a good holiday weekend. Hope you visited the Gulf of America and got a tan. And yeah, we fixed some bugs. It was good. And we got more to fix, but we knew that. Let's raid somebody. It's been a while since we raided somebody. Let's see. I don't know. Who is good? Who is good to raid? Shaders. No furries. No furries. We have a no furry rule on this channel. We have a no furry rule. Um,
Yeah, that's better. Okay, so dude kind of wants to spin this one.
all right, this dude speaks English. That's all we need, and is not a furry that we know of. All right, thanks everybody. See you later.